10th of June, we're going to have another full moon, this time in the sign of Capricorn. This full moon is a bit calm because there's not many aspects that is applying to this full moon, except maybe Jupiter, but Jupiter, it's applying a very wide orb towards the Sun. Sun Cancer, and Jupiter is also in Cancer, but at the time of this full moon, the Sun will be at 18 degrees of Cancer, while Jupiter will still be at 7 degrees. So it's quite a wide orb. So there's not much going on in terms of aspect towards this full moon on the 10th of June in Capricorn, but nonetheless, this is still a full moon. And the ruler of this full moon, which is Saturn, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, is in its fall in Aries. So we're going to discuss the effect of this full moon on all 12 rising signs. Okay, for the first rising sign, we will go to Aries rising, the most accurate, followed by Aries sun and Aries moon. For Aries rising, this full moon in Capricorn will highlight your 10th house. It's about career, it's about achievement, it's about your legacy, it's about public image. So whatever you're starting during the last cycle, which is new moon in Capricorn 6 months ago during Capricorn season, or whatever you started back then, it will manifest it, or the effort will manifest, or at least will be shown to you in this full moon in Capricorn. And because it's in your 10th house, so it will be related to your career or your public image. The ruler of this full moon, which is Saturn, is in your first house. So you will have something to do. Your effort will have something to do. Will be closely related to the achievement or the results of this full moon, because the ruler of the 10th, this full moon, is in your sign. The first house is in you. So your personal effort will bring something illuminated by this full moon. Whether you achieve something or you don't achieve something, or whether you want to stay on track in terms of your career, or if you want to eliminate something, whatever it is regarding to your 10th house, this full moon will highlight it for you. For the second rising sign, we will go to Taurus rising, which is the most accurate, followed by Taurus sun and Taurus moon. For Taurus rising, this full moon in Capricorn will highlight your 9th house. 9th house is about philosophy of life, higher learning, higher minds, higher thinking. This is also about travel, religion. This is also about publishing. This is basically a house of adventure. So whatever that you started during Capricorn season 6 months ago related to your 9th house, the effort that you put in terms of your 9th house will be shown to you by this full moon in Capricorn. Remember, Capricorn, Saturn, it's all about effort. It's all about the long game. It's all about perseverance. It's all about long-lasting effects. So this full moon will show to you, will highlight to you whatever efforts that you have put in 6 months ago during the new moon Capricorn season related to your 9th house. So if you're trying to apply for a visa, if you put an effort to it, then maybe your visa will be approved. Or if you want to study, or you want to finish a course, higher learning, university, whatever effort that you have put, it could be shown to you by this full moon in Capricorn in your 9th house. Okay, for the third rising sign, we will go to Gemini rising, which is the most accurate, followed by Gemini sun and Gemini moon. For Gemini rising, this full moon in Capricorn will highlight your 8th house. 8th house is about sex, intimacy, the dark things, things that were buried. Is also the house of psychology. Remember, 8th house is also about death, transformation, and money. In this case, other people's money, investments, insurance, debt. stock exchange, all in the 8th house. So because the full moon in Capricorn will highlight your 8th house, if there is something that you started back then during Capricorn season, during new moon in Capricorn 6 months ago, the effect or the results will be shown to you on this full moon in your 8th house in Capricorn. So if you already been disciplined, do your homework, if you've been putting the effort in terms of your 8th house, for example, you want to invest something and then you put on the effort to research or to make sound decision regarding your investments, then this full moon in Capricorn will highlight the results for you. Remember, full moon energy is not only about highlighting the results, but also eliminating things that no longer work for you. So this full moon will show you the path of which what you can take in the future, or the path which no longer serves you. So this full moon in the 8th house in Capricorn will highlight regarding your investments, the money that you put in, also highlight your psychology, your intimacy regarding your transformation. It's basically heavy stuff, but it needs to be done. And Capricorn is the sign of hard work. And the ruler of Saturn is in Aries. So it's about taking charge. Aries is the energy of taking charge. So it's all within you. You just need to put an effort, and this full moon will show you the path to take. Okay, for the next rising sign, we will go to Cancer rising. So it will be the most accurate for Cancer rising, followed by Cancer sun and Cancer moon. For Cancer rising, this full moon in Capricorn will highlight your 7th house. This is about partnership, marriage, relationship, one-on-one relationship, close relationship. This is also about business partnership. This is also about your audience. This is also about your fans if you work in the creative industries. So basically, this full moon will highlight the relationship that you have. It is also about contracts, any type of contracts, business or personal contracts. So this full moon in Capricorn will highlight those things relative to your 7th house. So whatever effort that you have put in since the last new moon in Capricorn 6 months ago, the results will be highlighted to you in this full moon. Whether it's good results, the one that you wanted, or not so good results, it will be highlighted by this full moon, so you can take the next step, whether to eliminate something or to add something. So for my Cancer rising friends, this full moon will highlight your 7th house. Okay, for the next rising sign, we will go to Leo rising. For Leo rising will be the most accurate, followed by Leo sun and Leo moon. For Leo rising, this full moon in Capricorn will highlight your 6th house. This is about your daily chores, daily activities, your health, physical health, your pets. This is also about the details of your work. This is also a house of service, where you literally burn your karma through service, act of service. So this full moon in Capricorn in your 6th house will highlight the results of whatever that you have been putting since 6 months ago during the new moon in Capricorn. So if you're trying to improve your health, the results will be shown to you with this full moon in Capricorn. If you've been trying to improve your daily activities, daily lives, this full moon will also highlight those efforts. Whether it's good or bad, this full moon will highlight it so you can take the next step to improve it further. Not to mention, this is happening in your 6th house, the house of improvement. So for my Leo rising friends, this full moon will highlight your 6th house. For the next rising sign, we will go to Virgo rising, the most accurate, followed by Virgo sun and Virgo moon. Okay, for my Virgo rising friends, this full moon will highlight your 5th house. Hooray! This is a very great house. So this full moon in Capricorn will highlight every effort that you have been putting in terms of your 5th house. 5th house is the house of creativity, joy, fun, hobbies, children. It's also the house of gambling. To some extent, it's also the house of investments together with the 8th house, right? This is also the house of love and romance. So if you've been putting an effort toward those things relative to the 5th house since the last new moon in Capricorn 6 months ago, then the results will be shown to you by this full moon. So whether it's good or bad, or whether it is to your liking or not, it will be shown by this full moon so you can take the next step. For example, you've been trying to have children. You have been putting an effort, because remember, Capricorn is effort, discipline, perseverance. So if you've been putting those things in terms of your 5th house, for example, if you want to have children, then this full moon will highlight or will show to you the results. Or if the result is not to your liking, then this full moon in Capricorn will highlight what is the next step for you to take. So for my Virgo rising friends, this full moon in Capricorn will highlight your 5th house. Okay, for the next sign, we will go to Libra rising, the most accurate, followed by Libra sun and Libra moon. Okay, for my Libra rising friends, this full moon in Capricorn will highlight your 4th house. This is about family. This is about your emotional foundations. This is about your home, your house, your properties. So this full moon will highlight those things. Remember, 4th house is also regarding your ancestry. If you've been putting an effort towards your ancestry or towards your family lineage, so whatever efforts that you've been putting in towards your 4th house since the last new moon in Capricorn 6 months ago, the effort or the results will be shown by this full moon. For example, you've been trying to buy a house or to do something with your house. Then the effort, the perseverance, the discipline will be highlighted by this new moon in Capricorn in your 4th house. Whether the results to your liking or not, this full moon will show to you what is the next step. What is the things that you need to eliminate, if there is some elimination that needs to be done in terms of your 4th house. Remember, 4th house is also your family. It's also about mother or motherly figures. So those things could also play into this full moon in Capricorn. So pay attention to your family, pay attention to your properties, your house, your home. Also pay attention to your emotional foundations, and pay attention also to your mother. Okay, for the 8th sign, we will go to Scorpio rising, the most accurate, followed by Scorpio sun and Scorpio moon. For Scorpio rising, this full moon in Capricorn will highlight your 3rd house. This is about siblings, communications, learning, skills. This is about your vehicles, and also this is also about your gadgets. So this full moon in Capricorn will highlight those things related to the 3rd house. Whatever efforts that you've been putting in terms of improving your 3rd house or 3rd house matters, because Capricorn, all earth signs are about improvement. So all the efforts, the discipline, right, the knowledge that you've been putting in terms of your 3rd house since the last new moon in Capricorn 6 months ago, the results will be shown to you with this full moon in Capricorn in your 3rd house. For example, you've been trying to add new skills, learn new stuff, right? Or you've been trying to improve your vehicles, buy new vehicles. Then the efforts will be shown to you with this full moon. For example, you've been trying to get a credit to buy a new vehicle. You've been putting an effort towards that. This full moon could show you whether your effort has been successful or not, whether that credit that you've been wanting to have to purchase that new vehicle, whether that credit has been approved or not. This full moon could highlight that for you, because this is about the 3rd house. Vehicles is the 3rd house. So for my Scorpio rising friends, this full moon will highlight your 3rd house. For the 9th rising sign, we will go to Sagittarius rising, the most accurate, followed by Sagittarius sun and Sagittarius moon. Okay, for my Sagittarius rising friends, this full moon in Capricorn will highlight your 2nd house. This is about money, resources. This is about things that you value. This is also about your self-worth. So those things will be highlighted by this by this full moon in Capricorn. So whatever seeds that you've been planting since the last new moon in Capricorn 6 months ago, the effort or the results of that effort will be shown to you, will be highlighted to you with this full moon in Capricorn in your second house. Whether you want to add, whether you want to increase your income, the effort that you've been putting to increase your income, money, since the last new moon in Capricorn, the results will be shown to you with this new moon. With this full moon in Capricorn. So this is about money. This is also about resources and value, anything of value. So all the efforts, all the discipline, the perseverance related to your second house matters. It will be shown to you. The results will be shown to you by this full moon in Capricorn. Whether you need to add something or eliminate something regarding that effort towards your second house, this full moon will also show you that, so you can take the next step. So for my Sagittarius rising friends, this full moon will highlight your second house, which is Capricorn. Okay, for the 10th sign, we will go to Capricorn rising, the most accurate, followed by Capricorn sun or Capricorn moon. Okay, for Capricorn rising, this full moon is going to happen in your first house. You are the star, the center of attention with this full moon. Remember, Capricorn is not always the most emotional, but full moon is an emotional time because, after all, the moon is our emotions and it is shine brightly, reflecting the lights of the sun. So this full moon will highlight your emotional state. It will highlight you in a very emotional way. Something that my dear Capricorn rising friends are not familiar with, because Capricorn is not the most emotional of all signs, right? So this full moon will highlight you, your personality, your physical appearance, your physical embodiment, your physical entity. So it will highlight you, whatever that you've been trying to change about yourself, improve about yourself since the last new moon in Capricorn 6 months ago. This full moon in Capricorn will highlight it because this involves the first house, physical appearance, personality, aura, whatever you want to improve that you've been starting since the last new moon in Capricorn 6 months ago. The results will be shown to you, literally, with this full moon in Capricorn. And people will see it. People can feel it because this is your first house. You, the one. First house is the avatar. It's your 3D manifestation in this lifetime. So people could feel it, could see it. So you are the star with this full moon in Capricorn, my Capricorn rising friends. Okay, to the 11th sign, we will go to Aquarius rising, the most accurate, followed by Aquarius sun and Aquarius moon. Okay, for my dear Aquarius rising friends, this full moon in Capricorn will highlight your 12th house. This is about your mental health. So whatever you've been trying to achieve or improve in terms of your mental health since the last new moon in Capricorn 6 months ago, the results will appear to you with this full moon in Capricorn. Because Capricorn is your 12th house. This is the house of the mental realm. This is not just a mental realm. This is also a water house. Originally, this is the house of Pisces, Neptune. This is a very watery house. This is a very foggy house, a very emotional house, but this is also a very mental house. So this is the house of isolation, the house of the other world, so other dimensions, if you want to call it. This is the house of art also, the house of sleep, the house of rest, the house of creativity also, because you could find creativity. You can find creativity if you're sleeping or if you're resting, right? This is also the house of isolation. This is the house where the imagination is the ruler, the key. So it's all about your mental health, things that support your mental health. Because Capricorn and Saturn is all about improvement. So whatever you've been trying to improve in terms of your mental health, it will be shown by this full moon in Capricorn. So just be patient, because Capricorn and Saturn is all about patience, the long run, discipline, right? So do your work in terms of your mental health, and this full moon will highlight and will show you the way to go forward. Okay, to the next rising sign, which is the last, which is Pisces rising, the most accurate, followed by Pisces sun and Pisces moon. For my Pisces rising friends, this full moon in Capricorn will highlight your 11th house. This is about friendship, networks, hopes and dreams. This is also about social media. So whatever efforts that you've been putting in terms of those things relative to your 11th house, the results will be shown to you with this full moon in Capricorn. Maybe you've been trying to have new connections. You've been trying to do some new projects in terms of social media. You've been trying to connect with more friends, because 11th house is friends, right? You want to increase your social circle, connections. Whatever efforts you've been putting on those things, it will be shown to you with this full moon in Capricorn. So this full moon will not only highlight those things, it will also highlight your hopes and dreams, your long-term goals. This is what 11th house is all about. So for my Pisces rising friends, this full moon in Capricorn will highlight your 11th house.